I want to share with you a story that tells a little bit about what I expect from you as an associate. Several years ago, I had an employee who happened to have a son who was the general manager of a very fancy five-star hotel in Yosemite National Park. I happened to be traveling to Yosemite National Park on my way through to San Francisco with my family, and she said, make sure you stay at this hotel. Well, I happen to know that a stay at that hotel would cost me more than $300 a night. That's a little bit scary for me because I wasn't making that kind of money. She said, don't worry about it, it will all be taken care of. I thought, okay, well, let's give this a shot. So we drove down to Yosemite, we pulled up. As we pulled up to the valet parking, the valet came out and he said, as we're pulling up in our old jalopy from Idaho, okay, get the image here. He walks up in his suit and tie and says, oh, Mr. Harris, we're so glad that you're here, we've been waiting for you. And I'm thinking, man, I don't get called Mr. Harris very often, and how did you know who I was? Then I realized, of course, the jalopy from Idaho, they probably put two and two together. They took our bags. We went to the front desk. As soon as I got to the front desk, it was again, Mr. Harris, we are so glad you and your family are here. You don't need to check in. We already have everything taken care of. Here's your keys, and here's the bellhop. He'll take you to your room. Took us to our room, pulled down the covers of the bed for us. There was a mint on each pillow. There was a nice basket in the room that had cheese and crackers and various things. A big welcome note, thank you for coming and staying with us, Harris family. After the bellhop had tucked us in, if you will, not literally, but you know what I mean, made us feel comfortable. I got a phone call from the front desk. Just want to make sure, Mr. Harris, that your accommodations are okay. Is there anything that we can do for you? Well, there happened to be something. And so I said, you know, we could really use a crib for our baby. Oh, we should have thought of that. It will be there in 10 minutes. It was there in 5. You get the point. That evening we went to their 5-star restaurant. We walked up to the line to get into the restaurant. The maitre d' came around and said, Harris family, you don't need to wait in line. You're our VIPs tonight. We already have your table set, and ushered us to the front. There were 3 servers serving us the entire time we were there. Now, we're from Idaho, so it was a little uncomfortable because I had young kids. We're looking around at the guests in this restaurant, and let's just say we didn't fit in too well. But it was a fun experience. The whole experience was interesting. I walked out of that experience and looked at my wife and said, that was a little weird. And she said, yeah, but I could get used to that. And I'm thinking, yeah, I could get used to that as well. It was a neat experience to be treated like a VIP. And that is the story, and that is the image that I think of when I think of your appraisal office. No matter what you're doing, whether you're on the phone, whether you're doing data entry, whether you're doing data research, whatever the case may be, whether you're just observing and training, if you will keep that story in mind or something similar, you've probably had an experience in your life when you felt like you were the king or the queen for the day, that you were truly treated like a VIP. Think of that experience as you come to work, because that's the kind of experience that I want our appraiser clients to have. They need to be treated like a VIP every single time they are serviced by your appraisal office. I want you to think about Donald Trump for just a minute. Whether you hate him or love him, there usually is no in between. You either hate him or love him. But I want you to think about, if you were his personal assistant, how would you act? How would you treat him? That's the kind of image that we would like to portray. In other words, when you deal with our clients, you should treat them as Mr. or Ms. or Sir or Ma'am until you're corrected. Use professionalism and make sure that they understand that we love them and that we honor them and that we will serve them the best that we can. It's very, very important in the things that we do here at your appraisal office. A couple things that I'll share with you. I'm sure the office manager has already taken you through some of the similar or some of the training things that you need to know about the office. But a couple of the pet peeves that I'll throw out there is, number 1, be to work on time. I am a stickler for being to work on time and working your full shift. If you're being paid by the hour, which most of you will be, remember that you're being paid by the hour. Here at your appraisal office, we typically don't do the whole every 2 hours, okay, you get a 10-minute break and take your break now. By law, you are allowed that break, and I would encourage you to take that break. I have found that my employees are better stewards and more efficient if they take frequent breaks. But remember that you are being paid by the hour. We encourage you to visit and to get to know one another in the office, but there is a line that you cannot cross from visiting and enjoying and laughing and having a good time together and being less productive than we should be. And I'm sure that you understand where that line is. In other words, we're not here to babysit you. Though there's a lot of calling involved, we are not a call center. For those of you who have ever worked for or know about call centers, you know what I mean. We don't want that to be the environment here. We don't want you to be cattle that are pushed through the chutes. We want to make sure that you, yes, do your work and understand efficiency and productivity, but we want to have you enjoy your time here. You'll find that we're a very family-oriented atmosphere. We understand family. I'm a family man. My wife homeschools our 4 children, so I understand that things come up and doctor's appointments come up and things just happen. We will accommodate as much as we possibly can, but we do expect that you come to work with professionalism and that you give us the full measure that you possibly can give us. You must know that we monitor everything in the office. We monitor everything on the computers. We take screenshots every 10 seconds so that we know what is happening. So we don't want Facebooking and Twittering and YouTubing and you name it. We want to make sure that you're focused on what you were hired to do and that you can accomplish while you're here at your appraisal office. We want you to know that there's room for growth in your appraisal office. As the company grows, so grows the employees as well, and new positions will come about, and we'll need trainers and managers and that kind of a thing. So keep that in mind as well. We'll be looking for those individuals within the atmosphere of the appraisal office itself to look at those promotions, and some of those are lateral movements as well. Brooke, our office manager, can talk to you more about that as we go along the way. Thank you again for joining us at your appraisal office. We are very, very thrilled that you were with us. I want you to know that as the owner and president, I also own and preside over 2 other businesses. And as a consequence, I'm a very busy individual, and it's very difficult sometimes to be in the office frequently and to be associated with you frequently. So as we go through this process, I want you to know that just because I'm not visual, I'm still very, very involved in your appraisal office. I spend many hours a week making sure that it is progressing and doing what it should do. I am there and available at any time. There's very few people that I give out my cell phone number to. As a consequence, I try to keep it very tight, if you will. I'm very difficult to get a hold of on purpose. But with my employees, I will give you my cell phone number. Just ask the office manager and she'll give it to you. My email is available as well. And if you do see me in the office, feel free. I do have an open door policy and I will talk to you at any time that I possibly can. If there's anything that I can do to assist you, please come to me and ask. Thank you again for joining us. We love having you on board. Good luck with your growth. Good luck with your progress. And good luck as a member of the Your Appraisal Office family.